protein pancakes a lot, which are my favorite right now. And then normally I head to work or head to the gym, but that's basically a normal morning routine. Watch some TikToks.
Okay, and what time your day starts normally?
It's usually different every week. So I say typically maybe like 10, 9, wake up at 9, head to the gym at 8, 9, or wake up 8, 9, head to gym 9, 10. But sometimes it's earlier. So sometimes I'll have to wake up at like 7, go to the gym at 8. Just depends.
Okay, but, wait, I need to translate to the people, so it will be super fast. Is that okay for you? Perfect. Bueno, pues estábamos hablando, ya saben, cómo nos encanta saber cómo es la vida de las superestrellas por las mañanas. Y ella, por ejemplo, me dice que ella comienza sacando al perrito a pasear, ¿no? Su perrito es hermoso, se llama Stitch, y también tiene otro perrito, y bueno, esto lo hace con su chico. Después de eso, llegan a desayunar, que normalmente les encanta hacer como pancakes de hotcakes. No sé cómo les digan en sus países, pero bueno, acá les decimos hotcakes, de proteína. Y a veces se despierta entre 9 y 10 de la mañana. Qué delicioso que hacer eso. Pero bueno, se despierta como a las 7, 8 de la mañana. You said pancakes. I think
yes,
beautiful. Thanks. What's your favorite recipe for pancakes?
Well, right now, I recently just discovered these. I don't make them from scratch. I'll have to admit, I'm not a good cook. But at the favorites is these protein pancakes. They have a birthday cake flavor right now, and it's limited edition. But they're like power waffles or power cakes or something like that, and they have a birthday cake flavor. So right now, that's definitely my favorite. I'm a big birthday cake flavor person. Cotton candy, birthday cake. So when I saw those, I had to get them.
Bueno,
so
pues estábamos hablando ahorita de qué onda. A ver, tú comes dulces porque aparte estás joven y guapísima, entonces no hay ningún problema. Me dijo, sí, a mí me encantan los pancakes que sean como de sabor de pastel de cumpleaños. ¡Qué rico! O sea, supongo que debes de ser estos de colorcitos. Okay, and I want to know if you had another cheat meal.
Oh, another cheat meal? Well, my favorite of all time is Portillo's, which it's normally based in Chicago, where I'm from. But one in Orlando, I think it's like the first one that they've built. Portillo's, they have like really good chocolate cakes and like cheese hot dogs, which is like my favorite cheat meal of all time. So the line is always, especially since it's the only one in Orlando, but it's definitely worth it. So if you get the chance, try it.
Hot dogs with cheese?
Yes.
Okay, qué rico.
A little different, but so it's yummy. Very good.
And the other one, you mentioned something before.
Yeah.
Oh, chocolate cake. Milkshake.
A milkshake with blended.
Ay, qué rico.
Diet. Yeah, so it's very good. A lot of calories, but very good.
That's a real cheat meal, right? A ver, pues estamos hablando ahorita acerca de ya saben que nos encantan las cheat meals. Estas comiditas para romper la dieta y que nos valga un pepino todo. Y me dijo, hay un lugar en Chicago que no me acuerdo el nombre, pero que ahorita también está por allá y a ella le encantan los hot dogs con queso. Y también tienen unas, ¿cómo se llaman? Unos como licuados, milkshakes, como, ¿cómo se llaman? Malteadas de chocolate que son deliciosas, que están llenas de calorías, pero eso se trata un cheat meal, ¿no? So now, how do you feel after only 3 years of starting your career professionally? You are already in WWE and making history as the youngest superstar so far.
Yes. It feels great. This was obviously it happened a little bit quicker than I thought it would. I was wrestling on the independents for about 2 years before my tryout. And obviously when you get the email for the tryout, it's a dream come true because this was always where I wanted to be. And I actually got the email like 2 weeks beforehand. So I didn't have a lot of time to prepare, which I guess is a scenario because I would definitely freak myself out. but yeah, I got the email for the tryout, and then I went. It was like 3 days long. I saw a lot of people I knew there. It was good. But yeah, I started and did the Dusty Classic with Gigi Dolan, and it's been crazy from then on. Like, so much has happened, but I'm very grateful, very thankful, and I'm excited to see what's next.
Okay,
I have
I
a lot of
want to
goals
know
for the
about
future,
your
so we'll
goals, but
see.
let me translate first this because sometimes I forgot the thing. So, first, okay, a ver,
Yes.
pues bueno, ¿cómo fue la cuestión de que su carrera ha sido súper rápida en tan solo 3 años de haber comenzado como profesionalmente, como pues dentro del medio? Ella ya está en WWE y dijo, bueno, es que la verdad yo recibí la prueba para el tryout solamente 2 semanas antes, ni siquiera me dio tiempo de hacer nada, yo no me imaginé, las cosas han sido súper rápidas y yo ya tengo demasiadas metas como a futuro que las va a cumplir seguramente porque es una bebé y la bebé es una bebé de oro. So yeah, you talk about Gigi. So you debuted on 205
Yes.
live and faced Gigi in a historic match on the first ever 205 women's match. How was this moment for you?
I was very nervous. Obviously, my debut is a big deal, and to be in the first ever women's match on 205 Live, which is a great thing in general, and then to be also in the Dusty first ever Dusty Tag Team Classic on 205 with Gigi was very overwhelming, but it was a lot of fun. We didn't come out on top, obviously, but you know we went our different paths. And it worked out for how it worked out, and it was a lot of fun. And I'm glad that was my first experience because it really like showed me like what it's going to be like to perform on TV in front of a crowd.
Pues
so
fue muy divertido. O sea, esta cuestión de debutar en el 205 con Gigi, aparte, ¿no? Me dijo, pues para mí fue una experiencia increíble. O sea, estaba súper nerviosa al principio porque, pues, imagínense entrar a debutar, aparte de todo, con esta gran carga, ¿no? Que aparte fue un match histórico. Porque fue el primer 205 con mujeres. Y me dijo, pues la verdad yo me sentí muy bien, muy contenta y estuve dando como lo máximo de mí. So you were part of War Games with Raquel González, Yoshirai, and Kylie Ray against Toxic Attraction and Dakota Kai. So we know this is a very dangerous match and you won the match for your team. So how do you feel before and after the match?
Well, I'm always very nervous. It's a pattern, you'll notice. I'm always very, but always very excited. So my first, obviously my first War Games match and my first ever pay-per-view. It was a lot going on, and obviously very different pay-per-view than all the rest. Very, like you said, very dangerous. It's a lot going on at all times. But I've always been a fan of like hardcore wrestling, so I was very excited to be able to have elements of that in this match, which is why I wanted to do, you know, the dive off the cage, which was very long way down and very painful, but it was a bucket list type of thing, and it was better than I could have ever imagined. So I'm glad.
Yeah, congratulations about that. It was a fantastic match, actually. A ver, pues la cuestión aquí fue, ¿se acuerdan ustedes que fue parte del War Games? Junto con Raquel González, y la neta es que nos dio un match impresionante. Dije, ¿qué onda? ¿Cómo te sentiste? Me dijo, mira, parte de mi estrategia en todos los matches en los que estoy es que estoy bien nerviosa. Me pongo bien nerviosa, pero también muy emocionada. Y la verdad es que fue un match, como tú lo dijiste, como muy peligroso, porque pues, aparte de todo, con quién se enfrentó y con quién estuvo, ¿no? Me dijo, fue aparte muy doloroso, fue muy doloroso. Yo, la verdad, ella dijo que desde que era fan, o sea, ella era muy fan, y ahora estar en este escenario, pues dio el 100, el 1000, y fue una experiencia inolvidable. So, since you arrived at NXT 2.0, you have got many important matches. One of the most important was the triple threat match at New Year's Eve, again, the NXT Women's Champion, Mandy Rose, and the former champion, Raquel González. So how do you prepare yourself for this match? I know that you were nervous, right? Because you said, like, first of all.
Yeah. Very nervous. Obviously, a lot of days in the gym, in the ring training, just trying to get in the best shape possible because it was my first title match. Obviously, it's a big deal. It was on the NXT New Year's Evil special. And being in there with two women like that, Raquel Gonzalez is a former champion, Mandy Rose is the current champion. So I'm kind of, the underdog in the situation and kind of having to figure out how to deal with these two experienced women. But obviously I did not come out with the win, but I still plan on going after Mandy Rose in the NXT Women's title. But really involved just a lot of days like in the gym, in the ring, and also just a lot of mental preparation because like I said, I was very nervous. So I have to, I try to take time out of my day, especially recently, just to meditate and like be at peace with my thoughts and just it makes for a better experience overall. So it's but I recently have been trying. It's very hard for me sometimes. It's a lot, very hard for me to concentrate. But I've noticed that taking the time out of my day to try to just take that peaceful moment definitely helps. It's hard to get there with all the crazy thoughts, but eventually.
Okay. A ver, estábamos ahorita platicando acerca de, desde que llegó, pues tuvo este match contra Mandy Rose. Y le dije, ¿cómo te sentiste? ¿Cómo te preparaste también? Y me dijo, bueno, ya sabemos que estaba nerviosa, pero estuvo mucho tiempo en el gimnasio, preparándose también, o sea, físicamente, que era, pues, imagínense, ¿no? Contra Mandy Rose, que tiene una larga carrera increíble. Y me dijo, pero una de las cosas que decidí agregarle ahora a mi preparación fue la preparación mental, en donde yo estoy ahorita, o sea, tiene poco tiempo que empezó como a meditar y se ha dado cuenta que mientras más pensamientos como de paz traiga a su mente, mejor se va a desenvolver. Entonces, es un truco para todos, ¿ok? Ok. Speaking of Raquel, last Tuesday, she declined your invitation to team up for the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. But we saw you very optimistic about convincing her. So do you have another plan to convince her?
Well, I have been developing a few plans. I'm not going to spoil them because I do have a plan to try to get her to tag with me. I think it would be great. Her and Dakota won last year. I was in it last year. I didn't come out with the win. So, here we could team up and we could get the win and we could take those tag titles off of JC and Gigi, which I think would be great for us. I don't know anybody that doesn't want to. But yeah. Be partners with Raquel, and you'll just have to stay tuned to see what I believe because I promise she will be my tag team partner, and we will become.
Come on, just a little clue, just a little one. Okay, perfecto. Bueno, pues la vimos como intentando convencer a Raquel de que por favor vamos a hacer equipo para el Dusty Rose, y ella dijo no, me caes muy bien chiquita, pero no. Y ella dijo, a ver, ahorita me estaba comentando, yo la verdad es que claro que la voy a convencer, por supuesto que ella va a estar conmigo, no les voy a decir nada, pero manténganse atentos porque esto va a estar sabroso. So we are now on the road to Royal Rumble, and winning the 30 Women's Royal Rumble match gives a direct ticket to WrestleMania, so that would be a dream, I know. But with all the momentum you have, it would be awesome to see you there participating. So is there any chance to see you at Royal Rumble? What do you think?
I would love to be in the Royal Rumble. I guess we'll have to see. It's definitely one of my favorite pay-per-views, especially growing up. All the surprises are always my favorite. 2020's Royal Rumble was one of my favorites because Edge made his return, and I was a big Edge fan growing up, still a big Edge fan now, so that was a cool moment to see. Love to be in the Royal Rumble. I guess we'll never know till we get there. But I know they do have some open spots, so few. I know a lot of women have already been announced, but there is room for some surprises. So hopefully, I'm one of them. But I guess we'll have to see.
We want to see you there. Muy bien, pues ya sabemos que la vida va y viene y que este Royal Rumble parece que va a estar impresionante. Yo le dije, ¿hay alguna oportunidad de verte por ahí, Cora? Y dijo, claro, yo espero que sí. La verdad es que toda la cuestión de las sorpresas, ha sido también su Royal Rumble, es uno de los pay-per-views favoritos para ella, entonces para ella sería impresionante estar ahí. Okay, so picture this. You just won the Royal Rumble match and you're pointing to the WrestleMania sign. Boom. So, which championship will be on your mind at that moment? The Raw, SmackDown, or NXT Women's Championship? Which one you prefer?
Well, obviously the NXT Women's Championship is on my mind right now. Always. But I would love to obviously be Raw or SmackDown Women's Champion. Maybe if that were the case and I were in the Royal Rumble and won it, I would be looking over at Charlotte Flair. Big fan. Great, incredible. But I would love to, definitely one of my dream matches. So that would definitely be that would be something.
Wow.
So I guess we'll with the future. That is definitely a dream match.
She's incredible.
So that would be great. She's incredible.
That would be awesome as well. Because a lot of people, they're saying now that you are kind of a new, like the new version Paige. So that would be amazing. A ver, gente, pues ahorita estábamos hablando de qué onda, sobre qué campeonato le gustaría ir. Y me dijo, bueno, pues ahora el campeonato de mujeres de NXT, ¿verdad? Sin embargo, a alguien que tengo en la mira es a Charlotte Flair. Pum, con esto cierro porque aquí está, ya lo tenemos todo. So, we know that you love skateboarding. How long have you been practicing and why do you start?
Well, it kind of started as just a hobby when I was a younger child. My younger brother and I, he's like 3 years younger than me. So one day, I think it was like we got skateboards for Easter one day. Start trying it, and it was kind of just our little hobby that we did. And then once I like fell in love with wrestling, I kind of just forgot about that hobby because it was just I wanted to be a WWE superstar, so that was just what my mind was focused on after that. But then once I got here, I wanted to add in elements, of past hobby loves of mine. So I thought it just fit, and it was bringing back different parts of my life, and I thought it fit well. And
it's incredible,
actually. Good, I think.
A ver, pues estábamos hablando ahorita acerca de que le encanta hacer skate, ¿no? O sea, patineta, acá. Y le pregunté que desde cuándo. Me dijo, mira, tengo un hermano que es 3 años más joven que yo y empezamos juntos y lo teníamos nada más como un hobby. Entonces, para mí es como grandes recuerdos y la verdad es que, ahora que pasó esto de convertirme en una superestrella de WWE, decidí agregarle todos esos elementos a mi personaje y creo que es increíble. Y claro que es increíble. So we saw that picture of the 10-year challenge on your Twitter, and I want to know what Cora of today will say to 11 years old Cora?
I don't know. I feel like both things at the same time. One, that it's shocking and I can't believe that I'm here, but also at the same time, I always wanted to be here. So I always hoped that this would be my life. But I would just tell that young girl just to keep pushing because dreams come true. That was my first ever WWE live events as a fan. I think it was like one of the SmackDown live house shows. I was so happy to be there. It was like a Christmas present or something. But yeah, I would just say, keep pushing. And to anybody else out there, passion goes a long way. I'm not anything special. I wasn't some crazy special athlete. I just, had a lot of passion and love what I do. So it's very
Perfect.
cool.
A ver, pues vimos una fotografía donde ella estaba de chiquita hace 10 años y yo le dije, ¿qué le dirías a la Cora de ahora? ¿No? Ya me dijo, bueno, que sigas persiguiendo tus sueños porque los sueños se hacen realidad. Entonces, eso, la verdad es que nos quedamos con ese. Okay, so, who was the superstar that inspired you to be where you are now?
I had a lot. Had a lot of favorites growing up, but I would say probably the number one inspiration of mine was AJ Lee. She was my absolute all-time favorite growing up. I had all the AJ Lee merchandise. I went to all her meet and greets. I was the biggest AJ fan. I think just because I related to her a lot and I see a lot of elements of myself in her, a lot of things we have in common. And I related to that, and I think she was an incredible performer and incredible person. So I really looked up to her, and I think that shows today. I get a lot of, oh, AJ, but it's not on purpose. It's just because I think maybe I looked up to her growing up. So she's kind of who I wanted to model my style after, kind of. I got a lot of inspiration from her growing up and even now. So I think she's great.
So beautiful. Bueno, pues ya saben, la estrella que la inspiró fue Jade Lee, y de ella ha sacado como toda esa inspiración que ahora también tiene. And how did your family react when you told them that you will be a WWE superstar? Because we want to know
that. Yeah. So that's kind of a weird story. So I was introduced by my younger brother and my dad. They were just watching it one day, and it was kind of like my brother thing. He was super into it, and at first I was like, I think I was like 8, and I was like, I don't care. This is like, yes. And then shortly after that, my brother like fell out of it, like completely became uninterested and found something else that he liked. But then I was the one that kind of stuck with it, and I would watch it every week, and I eventually just was like, I want to be a wrestler. And, my parents were super supportive from the beginning. My dad's the one who actually told me that, like, I could do that. Because, when you're a kid, you look in and, like, these people look so larger than life, and you don't realize that they're actually just real people. So once he said that, it was like a light bulb switched in my head, and I just always wanted to do it. And they were always super supportive. Before I could drive, my mom was, like, driving me to wrestling training so I could they've just always been supportive because they knew this is what I wanted to do. So I'm so grateful to have that support system behind me, because it's definitely been a lot easier and a lot smoother of a ride.
I think they're really happy now with you there. Yes, that's great. And you said that. I think the most important thing sometimes when you want something big or looks big is the support of your family. So congratulations about that. A ver, pues estábamos ahorita hablando acerca de cómo fue que sus papás reaccionaron, su familia entera reaccionó cuando se enteraron de que iba a ser una superestrella de WWE. Y dijo, bueno, a ver, es que yo desde niña, o sea, imagínense, desde los 8 años ella lo veía y con su hermano decía, órale, está padre. Y después de unos años dijo, a ver, yo quiero ser una luchadora, bueno, una superestrella. Y luego pasaron cosas, porque dice, pues es que yo, o sea, cuando lo ves por fuera, pues es como demasiado increíble. Pero realmente es gente real, es gente normal. Entonces, su familia siempre la ha estado apoyando muchísimo y desde el minuto 1, ¿no? Cuando ella decidió ser superestrella, ellos han estado al tanto. De hecho, decía también que cuando empezó a ir, por ejemplo, a los entrenamientos, su mamá era la que la apoyaba. Entonces, su mamá era la que la llevaba. Y eso es cosa importante para que tengamos ahora a la triunfadora que ella es y que va a ser. So, Cora, are you ready for fun questions? Perfect.
Yes, absolutely. I'm ready.
Vamos a ver. So, this one. R-O-N-N-E. How many tattoos do you have?
Ooh, I kind of lost count after like 10. I think I have 12 right now.
Okay. And 12, I want to know which one is your favorite.
Yes. My favorite? It's probably this one behind my ear, which a lot of people can't see unless I show. I'm not sure if you can see. It's a wrestling ring. I got it 3 years ago. It was random one day. I just was like, I kind of want to get a wrestling ring. So I just walked in one day and got it. But it's because it means a lot to me, but you can't always see it.
Pues, ella tiene más o menos como 12. Su favorito es uno que tiene de un ring aquí que se hizo hace 3 años, que dijo, me voy a hacer un ring, y se lo hizo. And which one is the oldest or the first one?
The first one was this lightning bolt on my wrist. I got it, I think I was 17. It was my first one. I thought it was such a big deal at the time, but it's so small now. But I got it because AJ Lee was my favorite, and she always wore bolt necklace. And it was just like an inspiration reminder. It was before I got here, just like to look down and be reminded of inspiration. It was just kind of a small little first one for me.
Very, very cool. A ver, pues el primero que se hizo fue un rayito por acá, porque también lo tenía AJ Lee como en su collar. Y dice que aparte de ser el primero que dijo, es un gran logro, lo tenía también como para recordarse a ella, hacia dónde tenía que ir. Está increíble eso, ¿eh? Eso para que lo tengan todos presentes. Muy bien. And another one. So, so this one. Do you understand or speak Spanish?
I can understand some very small, simple words here and there. One of my close friends, Katrina Cortez, who was in WWE, she was one of my closest friends, and I would teach her English, and she would like try to teach me Spanish, little words here and there, but that's really all. It was mostly me teaching. So I don't know a lot of Spanish, but I would love to learn one day.
Teach you some words or phrases or something. That would be the next one. Then the next time.
Yes,
we will have a to lesson or something like that. Okay, and the last one.
Absolutely.
Wait. This one. Oh, but you said already. Your dream match is against Charlotte Flair, right? Or do you have another one? Okay.
I have a few. My other one would be against Sasha Banks, definitely. She's another person I watched when I was wanting to be a wrestler. And Bailey, like the takeover matches with her and Bailey are some of my favorites. And just watching them at the time, it just inspired me so much more and made me want to be here so much more. So that was like just watching those matches definitely had a big impact in my motivation and forcing me to work harder because I knew that I wanted to be here. But yeah, I say Sasha or I have so many. But another one would probably be Bianca Belair, Rhea Ripley. Yeah, I have so many, so I'll go on a rant if I try to name them all. But those are definitely some people I watch and I am inspired by, and I think they're great.
Okay,
so I'd love
bueno,
to
pues
be
ya
able to set the
sabemos que la primera era Charlotte Flair. Después de ahí me dijo Sasha Banks. Sasha Banks para ella también sería como algo increíble. Bailey. También me dijo, bueno, también tengo algunas otras como Rhea Ripley, como Bianca Belair. Pero nos quedamos con estas primeras porque me parecen impresionantes. And this is the last one. I promise. A ver. So, oh yes, this one. We want to close with food. So, what is your favorite food?
My favorite food, probably penne alla vodka, which is, if you don't know what it is, it's like an Italian pasta. It's kind of just it's like a creamy tomato sauce. I don't really like tomato sauce. It sounds weird, but it's very good. It's at like a lot of Italian restaurants. My favorite. So, growing up, I always had it. Great. So if you ever get the chance and you go to an Italian restaurant, penne alla vodka.
Qué rico. Pues le gusta mucho una pasta al vodka. Esa es como su pasta favorita. Entonces ya sabemos que le vamos a cocinar la siguiente vez que veamos a Cora. Well, Cora, we arrived at the end of this amazing interview. It was a pleasure to have you here with us. But before you go, let me ask you something. Let's imagine that you win your first title and you decide to throw a party, a celebration party. So I'm in charge for that celebration party. So